Hey, it's John Tolsma, and welcome to Friday on the Porch Step. You know, on Fridays, we always have a great time finishing off the week. But one of the things that I've noticed this week as I've gone out from my house, I've noticed there's been a lot of road work going on, filling potholes, filling cracks. And we don't want to start this week without recognizing that today is Good Friday. And Good Friday is a reason for us to give thanks for a lot of things. For those of us who are Christians, it means that we have the chance to have our potholes and our cracks filled through the great gift that we've been given. But I hope that this weekend that you'll take time to figure out what you're grateful for, how you want to celebrate, spend time with your families, and most of all, use it as a chance to go out and let others see the gratitude that you have for all that's going on in our communities. And I know Cal's going to give you a couple of updates of how that's happening right now. Have a great weekend. Happy Good Friday.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Porch Step Live. We are here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Hope you're having a great day and a great week, and thank you for joining us on your Friday afternoon. We're going to have some fun today. We're going to share some stories, play some games. We have a big prize on the line today. We are playing for AirPods. Hopefully you saw our messages on social media. That's why you're here. But we will get to the game shortly. But I wanted to thank John for that message. As he mentioned, we are headed into Easter weekend. I hope you're not sick of your family yet, because this is one of the best family weekends of the year. I'm sending us into spring. But we hope you've got some fun plans this week. Happy Easter to all of you. Today we had better news around the coronavirus, which is great. Sounds like a lot of the reports of the death rate earlier are starting to decrease, which is amazing. So we're happy to see that. And then I hope you're taking advantage of this time. We saw a great spotlight earlier this week from Brian Newman from Golf Fitness X, and he mentioned at their company, they're treating this as 2020 2.0, second chance at your New Year's resolution. Hope during this time you've tapped into a new hobby, or you've worked on that project that you've been pushing off, or are just trying to take advantage of it, whether emotionally, spiritually, anything like that, and also spend time with your family. We hope you're doing that. So obviously, the mission with Porch Step is to share good news and share good stories. So we collected some stories this week that we thought were worthy of highlighting, and so we wanted to go ahead and get to some of those stories. So with that, let's take a look. So this week, 16-year-old TJ Kim may not have had his driver's license yet, but he's been flying planes all over Virginia in order to deliver medical supplies to rural hospitals fighting the novel coronavirus. The teen, who is a sophomore at Landon School in Bethesda, Maryland, was inspired to embark on his delivery missions after his classes were canceled as a result of COVID-19. Without school or lacrosse to occupy his time, he turned his focus on his flying lessons. According to the AP, Kim and his family then launched their Operation SOS Supplies Over Skies project as a means of keeping busy during the shutdowns while simultaneously serving others in need by delivering supplies to rural hospitals. You'll see him there getting into his plane. What a cool way not only to accomplish his lessons and getting his pilot license. Amazing. Tribute to the cause. That was a great story we loved. The next one is out of Michigan. A compassionate Michigan man is being praised for using his savings to buy gas for nurses fighting the novel coronavirus outbreaks. Last week, Alan Marshall stood on the corner of the Exxon gas station near the Detroit Medical Center holding a sign that read, "Free gas for nurses." Marshall ended up spending $900 own money to fill the tanks of between 50 and 80 vehicles belonging to medical workers on the hospital's front lines. Amazing from Alan Marshall, and a great way of contributing. And I know that was a lot of his savings, which is awesome as well. The next story is actually came from a colleague of ours near where he lives. It actually went viral, but he made us aware of it. For the last week, trombone player Dominique Burton and tuba player Benjamin Cosberg have hit the streets of Tower Grove South neighborhood to deliver homebound neighbors some New Orleans-style brass. Rady Jr. said, "All of us are really, really good friends, a drummer for the band. It gives us an opportunity to walk about the streets of St. Louis, really dig into the thing that we love, and watch other people fall in love with it as well. The band performs on the streets. They often play the Ben E. King song, Stand By Me." Really cool, and they've been doing it regularly off week. Another story, Jack Dorsey from Twitter went viral last week for donating $1 billion to the coronavirus cause. That was actually 28% of wealth. Well, he's back at it again with Rihanna, teaming up to create an emergency fund to directly aid those in need. The number of incidents are on the rise in the area. Rihanna's Clairol Lionel Foundation in Dorsey, who also serves as CEO of Square, will fund a joint grant to the Mayor's Fund for Los Angeles, each committing $2.1 million for a total of $4.2 million. Funding announced today by a rep for Rihanna's foundation will be directed toward 10 weeks of expenses for shelter, meals, and counseling for individuals and children suffering from domestic violence at a time shelters are full and reportedly on the rise. So Jack Dorsey is doing so many incredible things, and I think really being a trailblazer for a lot of the big owner corporations. So thanks to Jack for doing all that work. And the last story we wanted to share is out of Britain, and it is a farmer who wanted to share his support in a very interesting way. So we've got a video to show you. He took his tractor out and did this. Take a look. Not only is that awesome, but it's extremely satisfying to watch. I hope you enjoyed that. And that's kind of our week wrap of some of the stories that are going on in the world today, and just some good things that are happening thanks to people of all classes, which is great. So again, along the lines of stories, we've been sharing spotlight stories on Porch Step over the last few weeks, and I hope you've enjoyed getting to see some of these people and hear their messages, all of them in different professions, sharing some good things and just good thoughts to take with you at this time. And so we wanted to share with you our next spotlight today. It's coming from Glenn McCandless in Asheville, North Carolina. He started playing the guitar by teaching his son lessons, and his son actually ended up not playing the guitar, but he kept going at it. He has improved tremendously over the years and is now playing in his church band. He's playing for prison ministries, just all over the place. But he has an awesome story of how during this time, being able to connect with his family virtually has led to an amazing thing. Let's take a look at today's Porch Step Spotlight.
I'd just like to say thanks to Porch Step for tossing us all kind of a life preserver of good news in the middle of what seems to be like a tidal wave of bad news. I mean, every time you turn on the TV, every time you pick up something to read, it seems like we're getting drowned in all this stuff. So, you know what? There's some good stuff happening. You can see it here on this channel. And I've got something to tell you about that's not only good, it's great. Because here's the deal. My nephew has a 10-year-old daughter. Her name's Addie. She's really gifted. She's a performer. She's amazing. And for the past couple of years, she said, "Hey, Uncle Glenn, let's learn to play the guitar together. I really want to play the guitar. I want to rock out." And, you know, she's busy. Like every other kid her age, she has school and schoolwork, after school stuff, social things going on. And so the time's been hard, even though we just live 30 minutes away. So she's been wanting to make it happen. I've been wanting to make it happen. I play music as a worship leader at my church, and I play music out as part of a ministry, and I can't do that either. So we're all kind of stuck, and it's like, okay, what are we going to do? Sit around and listen to bad news, or do something to make some good news? And so here we are with the power of technology and the joy of music and the relaxing power that that has over all of us. We're able to spend some time together, and I'm able to show her how to make music with the guitar. And I know that's going to be a lot of fun, not only for me and her, but the guitar is going to be carrying her forward in a lot of good times that are yet to come. So I want to introduce you to Addie, sort of, by showing you a photo of her, and then you'll get to see the real thing. But here she is with her violin, which she calls a fiddle, by the way. And now I'm going to call her in here with me, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been doing together. So check it out. Oh, hey there, Addie. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey guys, I'm Maddie, and the past couple weeks I've done a few lessons with my Uncle Glenn, and we're working on some power chords, and I'm learning to play the song Free Falling by Tom Petty.
Whoa. And let me
Want to show them
really
some
cool.
power chords?
Yeah, maybe we should do a couple power chords for the crew. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. Tell me when you're ready, Addie.
All right, I'm ready.
Here we go. Cool. Very cool. So as you guys can see, she's already starting to rock out. And before long, she'll be playing some Free Fallin'. So just earlier, few minutes ago, we were learning some chords for Free Fallin'. You remember those, Addie? We had a D chord. Remember that one? Yeah, we're going to be playing Free Fallin', right?
Yep.
Cool. Well, let's just say goodbye because we can't spend too much time here on the porch step with these guys. But we just want to say, hey guys, let's wave to them. See you later. Stay well, stay good, stay safe, stay indoors, and find something really cool to do that you wouldn't be doing otherwise.
Learn some new things. Learn
Thanks
some
a lot,
new things.
Addie. See you later.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Glenn and Addie. That is amazing, and we are going to need you to share Free Fallin' whenever you learn it, Addie. Please send us a video of you playing that, and we will share with the Porch Step community. That's just a sample of what we're doing here at Porch Step and people that we're spotlighting. So if you have a story or you know somebody, please share it with us. It's amazing, like I've told people, some of the stories and messages we've heard because we've asked somebody to share. So if you know of anything, ask that person, share it with us. We'll be happy to spotlight that on our page moving forward. So before we get into game time, we wanted to throw you guys a couple of memes that we thought were pretty relatable during this time. And so the first one, and I'm sure most of you have realized during this time, that this is a look when you find out your normal daily lifestyle is actually called quarantine. So a lot of you for the last 20 years didn't realize it, but you were quarantining before it was cool. The next one is, there's a lot of confusion now because last year in 2019, everyone was telling us to get outside and get off of our phones. But now in 2020, they're saying go inside and get on your phones. So I don't know which way we're headed. I think everyone's a little confused. But let us know what to do in 2021. And then the last one we thought was relatable today because of the prize we're playing for game time. But this is what flexing was like in 2019, or actually in March. And this is what flexing is like in April. So maybe we should have been playing for hand sanitizer. I'm not sure, but we decided to go with AirPods. So we hope you enjoyed those. We want to go ahead and get into the game, and I want to kick off the game a little bit to give us some background. Today's game category is sports. Obviously, sports have been canceled for the last few weeks, and so we wanted to bring sports back today. Get your head around some of these facts. So we're going to start with a few facts before we get into it, and then I'll give you the directions for how to get on the game. On this sports day in history, in 1960, the 24th Golf Masters Championship was played, and Arnold Palmer won, shooting a total of 282 strokes. 1962, the first baseball game ever was played at Los Angeles Dodger Stadium. First game ever at the Dodger Stadium, not the first baseball game. The Dodgers lost 6-3 to the Cincinnati Reds. In 1991, Los Angeles Kings player Wayne Gretzky scored his NHL record 93rd playoff goal. And on this day in 1936, it was the birth of John Madden, one of the famous NFL color commentators, also a coach for the Oakland Raiders. If you don't know who John Madden is, I don't know what to tell you. He's been on every NFL video game and also a staple on Monday Night Football over the years. So that was a few moments in history on this day. To get your head in the trivia mindset, we're going to give you a few facts and then we'll get started. So, Jordan Spieth won $61,867 less at the Masters than Arnold Palmer won his entire career. That's how much the purse has increased over the years. If Michael Phelps were a country, he'd rank number 35th on all-time Olympic gold medal list, ahead of 97 nations. Wilt Chamberlain did not win the MVP the year he scored 50.4 points and grabbed 22.9 rebounds per game. Bill Russell beat him. He must have had an incredible year. If the three-time Cy Young winner Clayton Kershaw were to break Young's record of 511 wins, he'd need to stay at his current pace for the next 41 years until he were 68 years old. Speaking of baseball, there are actually only 18 minutes of total action in a baseball game. So if you thought baseball was boring, you may be right. The Philippines has competed in the most Summer Olympics, 20, without winning a gold medal. And in the 1970s, Jack Nicklaus played all 40 majors and made the top 10 in 35 of them. Our last fact before we get into game time, only 10 other quarterbacks in NFL history have thrown half as many touchdowns as Manning. Incredible stat. So, I hope that started jogging your memory of some sports facts. On your phone to switch over to the game. It's www.porchstep.live. If you're watching on your desktop, you can play along on your phones. But at this moment, we want to give you a few seconds to get to the trivia game. Again, www.porchstep.live. So obviously the category is sports. We want to go through a few of the ground rules for the game. You must answer correctly to get your points. Obviously, if you answer incorrectly, you'll receive 0 points. But if you answer correctly, the speed at which you answer matters. So the maximum amount of points you can get is 500. As the time decreases, the point total will decrease. So if you answer with 17 seconds left, you're going to get more points than someone who answers with 8 seconds left. So make sure you're plugged in, ready to go. The last rule is have fun. We are playing for AirPods today. So exciting prize. And the category is sports. Hope you're all on your phones playing along. Without further ado, we would like to get started. So, if you're looking on your phones, you will see question 2. It is estimated that more than half of the world's population consider themselves to be fans of this sport, with a following of over 4 billion people. Is it A, cricket, B, football, C, soccer, D, baseball, or E, basketball? Which sport are we talking about? This sport was played by prisoners in the early 1800s after having their hands cut off from crimes. They played in London in the 1800s. That, if you're listening, probably crosses off a few sports that they would have played. And the winner is, for this question, C, soccer. Obviously in soccer they play the World Cup, which has a huge following. Brazil is the country with the most World Cup wins with 5. Germany and Italy each have 4. Obviously, they play using a soccer ball. If you've ever seen a soccer ball, it has 32 panels on it. So 32 of those shapes that you see on the ball. Moving on to question 3. This sport was invented in 1891 by James Naismith. Was it A, football, B, lacrosse, C, baseball, D, basketball, or E, cricket? James Naismith has an award named after him called the Naismith Award that is awarded to the College Player of the Year in NCAA Division I. In this sport, give it to the men and women. It is rewarded to the top Player of the Year in the sport of D, basketball. D, basketball, invented by James. So we hope you're doing well so far. We're 2 questions in. We want to take a look at the leaderboard. So we're going to switch over to the leaderboard on your phones. You'll see that pop up. I'm not going to tune into the leaderboard for a few questions. So take a look there on the leaderboard, and we will announce some of the people that are in the lead here shortly. but that'll give you a sense of where you stand. Don't worry, we have plenty of questions to go. Let's move on. Question number 4. Commonly referred to as the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, this city hosts a neutral site football game between the University of Florida and University of Georgia every year. Is it located in Atlanta, Tallahassee, Tampa, Gainesville, or Jacksonville? And in the all-time series, Georgia leads Florida 52-43 with 2 ties. The largest victory was in 1942, where Georgia beat Florida 75-0. Current win streak is 3 by Georgia, and this is played at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville, Florida, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Moving on to question number 5. In bowling, 3 consecutive strikes are called this. Is it A, turkey, B, birdie, C, albatross, D, split, or E, spare? In bowling, 3 consecutive strikes are called what? On May 11th of 2019, Tommy Gollick bowled 47 straight strikes. Bowled a lot of these. He actually stopped because he had finished his 4th game. He did not even bowl until he missed. Crazy to me. Did not keep going, but he was tired of it. But 47 straight strikes, and he would have had a lot of these, which is a turkey. 3 consecutive strikes is a turkey. So, after 4 questions, we're going to take another look at the leaderboard and see how you're doing. So, look on your phones. You'll see where you stand currently. I'm going to look here, and it looks like so far we've got Amanda in first, Thad in second, and David in third. Amanda, Thad, David. All right. Moving on to question 6. The official state sport of North Carolina is A, street hockey, B, stock car racing, C, figure skating, D, high school football, or E, college basketball. So some other facts about North Carolina. The capital is Raleigh. The state dog is the Plott Hound. State flower is the dogwood. The state mammal is the gray squirrel, and it is referred to as the Tar Heel State. It also holds the Hall of Fame for this sport in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they host 3 events annually at the Speedway where they have B, stock car racing. The answer is B, stock car racing. A lot of the drivers in NASCAR live in North Carolina, so a big sport in the state. Hope you got that one right. Next question, number 7. Additionally, the only 2 days of the year where there are no major professional sports, including the Big Four, MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, being played are the day before and the day after this event. So it's the only 2 days out of the year, the day before and after. Is it A, the Super Bowl, B, the NBA Slam Dunk Contest, C, the MLB All-Star Game, D, the Stanley Cup, or E, the Pro Bowl? The other day outside of these 2 days that has the smallest volume of sports is Christmas Eve. But these are the only 2 days, other than, of course, the last 20-something days of quarantine, that have not had sports played on it, or before and after the C, MLB All-Star Game. MLB All-Star Game. So we got 4 questions to go. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see where we stand. See if we got a shake up in the top 3 or not. Okay, we've got Ross Martin in first, Laura in second, and Davis in third. Ross, Laura, and Davis. Nice job, Ross. Next question, number 8. This U.S. city is the only city where 3 professional sports teams all wear the same primary colors of black and gold. Is it in Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Detroit, or Boston? This city is also referred to as the Steel City, called the City of Bridges, and the City of Champions. Been there are a lot of bridges and a lot of steel. The answer for this one, and the teams that wear these colors are the Pirates, Penguins, and Steelers out of B, Pittsburgh. B, Pittsburgh. all wearing black and gold. Question number 9. A title awarded to a 3-year-old thoroughbred horse wins the Kentucky Derby, Preakness Stakes, and Belmont Stakes is commonly known as this. A, the Golden Horse. B, the Grand Slam. C, the Triple Crown. D, the Parade Ring. Or E, On the Bridle. 13 horses have done this. The last 3 being Justify, 2018, American Pharoah in 2015, Affirmed in 1978. Most popular one happened in 1973. There's a movie about it. It's a great movie if you haven't seen it. But it's Secretariat, and the record still stands today from her race, one of the races of the Triple Crown, which is the correct answer. C, Triple Crown. C, Triple Crown. Let's take another look at the leaderboard. We got 2 questions left. Look at leaderboard here, and then we'll show you before the last question as well. We got Ross still in first place, Laura in second, Davis in third. Ross, not a huge lead in front of Laura, so still time for people to make up. Let's move on to question number 10. Question 10, the postponement of the Olympic Games for 2020 is significant as they have only been canceled 3 other times in history. Which of the following years were games not canceled? Was it A in 1916, B in 1940, C in 1944, or D in 1960? In this year, the Olympics were held in Rome, Italy. I'm not going to tell you that yet. In Rome, Italy, beat out Detroit for the bidding. Marathon was won by a barefooted runner. U.S. basketball team won. And the Japanese gymnastics won the first of 5 consecutive gold medals in men's gymnastics. The year was 1960. Answer is D, 1960. That had to be a tough one, I can imagine. So with 1 question to go, let's take a look at our leaderboard. You'll see the question pop up for the next one, but while we're waiting, let's look at who is in the lead. We got Ross in first, Clarence in second, and Davis in third. Ross, Clarence, and Davis. All right, last question. It is a tough one. Number 11, from 1900 to 1920, this was an official Olympic sport, with Great Britain being the only country to win 2 gold medals during that time. Was it sport of A, arm wrestling, B, tug of war, C, ping pong, D, pistol dueling, or E, hula hooping? This sport dates back to 2500 BC, where there was an engraving on an Egyptian wall of this happening. It's also been used at the start of military confrontations way long ago. An international federation of this sport is in Wisconsin. Yes, there is actually a federation for this sport. It was played in the Olympics, and the answer is B, tug of war. B, tug of war. So that wraps up the trivia. Let's take a look at who the winner today was. I'm going to let it load on your phones and give you a minute to see yourselves. We'll see if Ross got that last question right to hang in. And yes, he did. Ross Martin, the winner, with 3,783 points. Congratulations, Ross. We'll reach out to you to get the AirPods sent to you. I believe we're actually going to buy them, so this is a good way for you to get a pair for free. Congratulations on winning the trivia today. Thanks for playing. Thank you all for playing. We're going to be doing this, like we said, hopefully every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but we'll notify you during the weeks to keep you posted if we are or are not going to be playing. We do want to continue to have stories sent to us from you all. So please share your story with us. Send us a video. Ask your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, family members, anyone that you think can be a good spotlight for us on the porch step. We want to show it off. Love the stories that we've had so far, and we just want to continue to do that. The goal is to share them every day, but we're sharing them as we get them. So please continue to share your story with us. Thank you for joining. We really want to wish you a happy Easter weekend with your family. We hope you're able to celebrate and spend time with them. Keep enjoying this quarantine and taking advantage of it. Trying to do here at Porch Step. We will see you again Monday. So have a great weekend, and thank you for joining.